Hi, my name is Alisha Salcedo. This is for MPA 545. This is my week 3 multimedia discussion, characteristics of mediation. In this PowerPoint, we're going to be reviewing the 5 characteristics that were listed for mediation in the textbook. Then I'm going to be reviewing Henry Landsberg's final report in mediation. And then we're going to be reviewing the 5 elements of mediation, the other author that I found that was using Landsberg work, and then just some of my insights. In Chapter 4, Mediation and Collaborative Approaches, on page 77, they're beginning to discuss just key characteristics or core values of mediators. They only pulled up Landsberg 5 first. Choices of why a mediator is successful. He thought these were just the most important through his survey. And it was a sense of humor, not to give yourself attention during the conflict, the ability to, understand someone, to like share that communication feeling, just having that empathy basically. Making sure that you're just being patient and then just having the knowledge just to know how to mediate with the different groups of people. So I did read the final report on a research project in mediation by Henry Landsberg. After reading the article, I was able just to figure out why he designed and created a research project. He really wanted to know how can he measure mediators, and could he develop a scale for that to just make sure that before you hire someone, are they kind of like that best fit for the job? Um, Within his research project, he had two different parts to it. The first part was just having a consented group that was willing to give their opinions about who a mediator should be and kind of their characteristics. And then he had to develop and construct a scale just to measure these types of characteristics for mediators. And this is very important because this is how he is able to make that determination for mediators. Within the research project, he was able to see a trend. He was seeing that for the behavior, if they scored high on one of the tests, they tend to score high. The mediator tend to score higher in the other test. So he kind of just came up with this idea of like the halo effect, basically just indicating that the behaviors and characteristics are very similar because of the research project that he's doing. So that mediator is going to be tend to be higher in his other test. And then his goal also was just to make sure, like, for this to just to be reproduced in other people's work. He just wanted to see that you can measure and scale mediators based on their characteristics, just to determine if they are going to be best fit for the job. So I did read the article, The Five Elements of Mediation by Christopher Honeyman, and this article just caught my attention just based off of like the problem that was going on in the article. He understood that mediators were being trained by highly qualified mediators, but yet they had two different styles of training people, and he didn't know if that was going to be an issue. So after doing his research, he also saw the same trend as Landsberg saw, which was the halo effect. So for him, he was using like the research methods, the similar terms Landberg was using, and he also saw the same thing that was going on as Landsberg. So that was very interesting that he was able to replicate kind of what Landsberg was doing, and just see that there is a trend where, based off of the terms and the definitions of a mediator characteristics, can follow with other test results especially if they are scoring higher on one test and then they're going to continue scoring higher on other tests based off of the characteristics. And after reading just the two articles, it just gave me a deeper understanding of why having these core values in mediators are important. Landsberg was just doing the research, just trying to figure out what are the core values, and he was able to come up with 10. And how can he scale these to determine who is a good mediator? And then in Honeyman's article, I was just able to understand like there's different styles of teaching people to become mediators, and yet even though there's different techniques, they all have the same skills within their own techniques, still making them a mediator. So kind of this just all ties in back to the book in chapter 4, where these are the core values of a mediator and they are a necessity. And that's the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for listening.